fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion, Tonto, the masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. The stories of his strength and courage, his daring and resourcefulness have come down to us through the generations. And nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! Faster, boy, faster! I'm Silver! Boy!
The trail from Chandler to Pothook split at Summit Rock. To the left, a wide and deeply rutted road dropped down the divide and led to the mining town's main street. On the right, a vague trail rambled off toward the tiny, dead-end valley at the bottom of Camelback Mountain. Ken Albright and his partner, Shorty Barnes, halted their double-wagon, six-horse freight outfit at the peak of Summit Rock.
Ho! Ho there! Ho, boys! Ho! Ho there! Ho! Here. You can tool this tandem rig the rest of the way, can't you, Shorty?
Yeah, sure. I've been driving teams for 30 years. No reason why I should forget now.
Good. I'll get those steel hand drills out of the second wagon.
Yeah? You kind of figured that's what you'd do when we got this near the valley.
What do you mean?
Aiming to cut over Camel's back and deliver them drills to old man Wallace?
I figured on it.
Ain't you forgetting, young fella, that the rule of the Albright and Barnes Freight Company is that we set our loads down in Pothook? Anybody wants their stuff, they can pick it up there.
No, I'm not forgetting. But John Wallace is an old man, pretty feeble. And he has no horse to ride into Pothook.
What's the old critter doing down there anyway?
Puttering around, sinking a few holes, or maybe a shaft when he feels like it. A man who spent all his life as a mining engineer can't stop working just because he's old.
Well, I guess you're right. Just like an old hunting dog when he's lost his teeth.
Something like that.
Of course, you toting them drills down there ain't got nothing to do with the fact that old man Wallace has a right pretty daughter named Sally.
Well, I mean...
A girl that's caught the eye of the youngest half of the best freighting outfit west of Denver.
Well, it's not that exactly. Sally and I...
Go on now, grab your saddle horse back there at the tailgate and skin out of here, son. But don't spend 3 or 4 days courting at the bottom of Camel's back.
I won't. Steady, boy.
Remember, you're still running the freight line. Bart Rankin's stamping mill is running full blast. Like as not, he'll want to ship a load of concentrate before the end of the week.
That's one part of our business I don't like. Freighting loads for Bart Rankin.
Why?
I don't like him. He squeezed out most of the small miners in Pothook.
I ain't got any love for the buzzard myself, but he pays off and we need the business.
All right. You handle that end of it. I'll see you later on tonight. Come on, boy.
Doggone it, I wish I was about 20 years younger and knew a girl as pretty as that Sally Wallace. All right, you muscle-bound cayuses, let's roll.
Oh, boy. Over there. Sally? Sally? No in sight. Funny, she's got the door closed and a day as hot as this one. Bet Mr. Wallace will be glad to get these drills. Sally, I thought you weren't home.
What do you want?
What? Well, I brought your dad's drills over. I thought
You
that...
can put the drills in the tool house.
Sure I will, but... Sally, what's the matter?
Nothing.
But you... I mean, you're acting so strange that I... What's wrong?
Why should anything be wrong? It'll take you most of the afternoon to ride into Pothook. Dad and I won't keep you any longer.
Won't keep me?
Thank you very much for delivering the drills. You've done us a favor and you've been thanked. Now, please go.
All right, No, I won't. I want to see your dad.
He's sleeping. Please go away.
Sally, there must be something wrong to make
Ken, behind you. Watch out.
Good work, Hoot. If he'd come any closer, I was going to take this hog leg out of the girl's back and blast him.
Ken, you killed
Shut
him.
up. Save a lot of trouble if the critter is dead.
Ah, I just tapped him.
First Dad. Oh, Ken.
Stop squalling, or you'll get a taste of the same thing.
Hey, he's one of the gazebos that run that freight line.
Yeah.
It's lucky we spotted him coming down Camelback. All we have to do now is keep the three of them quiet and send word to the boss.
That's your job. You got the fastest horse. I'll hold everything here till you get back with enough men to take care of this deal.
All right. But, Red, who is the boss? Oh, what's he look like? I ain't never seen him.
Who he is none of your business. I'll tell you how to get word to him.
What do I do?
Right on into Pothook. You know where that little corral is on the east side of town?
Yeah?
Tell the stable boy there who you are. He'll pass the word along.
That all there is to it?
Yeah, then you can ride back with the boys.
Well, how about this one and the old codger inside the cabin and her?
I'll handle him. Take him up to the mine. That'll be the safest place.
Well, why go to all the trouble? Why not just
Listen,
take 'em-
Hoot, when you've worked for the boss as long as I have, you'll know enough to follow orders. Nothing more and nothing less. Line out of here and do what I told you.
Whatever you say.
Remember, go to the kid in the corral on the east side of town.
Yeah?
That's the town of Pothook, Dan, right ahead of us.
Yeah,
There should be a blacksmith shop there someplace.
I'll find it.
There is. Tell the smith you'll be in tomorrow morning to have Victor shod. Otherwise, we'll head east. Stop at Chandler.
Sure.
I'll now make camp right here and have supper ready by the time you get back.
Oh, good. Have you been in this town before, Tonto?
Me and Pothook long time ago.
Any idea where the blacksmith shop is?
Me not remember. Maybe you find it near Corral.
Oh, thanks. I'll stop there anyway and see what I can find out.
That's a good idea. And get back as soon as you can, Dan.
I will. Come on, Victor. Oh, Victor. Oh, boy. Oh. This must be the corral that Tonto told me about. Doesn't seem to be any... Oh, yeah. It's a kid over there. Hi.
Hello?
I'm looking for a blacksmith shop. Have one around here?
Nah,
You mean nobody shoes horses in this town?
I didn't say that. I said there ain't no blacksmith shop.
Oh. Then how'll I get my horse shod?
A fellow named Sam Howell shoes mules up at the mine. He might do it for you.
Where can I find him?
Generally over at the Palace Cafe this time of night. I'm going over there. I'll find out for you if you want to wait.
Oh, sure. That'll be fine. I'll wait right here.
Be back pretty soon.
You'll have to wait a few minutes, Victor, before we know whether you'll be wearing new shoes tomorrow. Steady, boy. Easy now.
Hold up.
Gee, fellow looks like he's been riding hard. Wonder what...
Hi there, kid.
Hello.
Red Kerrigan told me I'd find you here.
Oh, did, eh?
Yeah. Said you'd take a message to the boss.
Boss?
Ah, you don't have to play dumb with me, kid. I don't know the gent personally, but we're all drawing cards in the same game.
Are we?
Sure. Red and I got old man Wallace and the girl nailed down in her cabin at the bottom of Camel's Back.
You have?
Sure. And we even snagged that young Buck Albright. You know, he and Barnes run the freighting outfit.
Albright?
Yeah, came snooping around. You know, we couldn't risk that.
No, of course not.
Get that message to the boss, will you? And ask him what we do next. And, he'd better send a lot of men over there. Old Codger's mine is everything we figured it was.
You mean, Mr. Wallace?
Well, sure. Get a move on, will you? And tell the boss.
Yeah, I'll tell him right away. What's your name?
Hoot Lander. I work with Red all the time.
Guess I will have to hurry.
Yeah, you better. Hey, who's this hombre?
I talked to Sam Howell. If you want to come around tomorrow afternoon, he'll shoe that cayuse for you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Wait a minute. Both of you jiggers are kid. Well, which one of you is which?
What do you mean?
Well, Red Kerrigan said to...
Button your lip till he gets out of here.
Oh, but I didn't...
Victor, we better move.
Oh, you don't?
Hey, let go of that bridle.
Let him go.
He run a whiz around me, made me
Come
think
on,
that he was...
Victor. Run, Victor, run.
Two-faced little varmint, I'll...
Come on, Victor.
That's a very interesting story, Dan. I'm glad you got out alive.
That boy in the corral. He must be the way they send messages to the boss. Whoever he is.
Evidently so. I know Hoot Lander and Red Kerrigan by reputation. They're a couple of professional gun hawks.
Who's the boss he talked about? And who are Mr. Wallace and Albright?
I don't know, but we'll find out in a hurry.
Here, Silver. Here, Scout. Dan, same man and girl in cabin, bottom of Camel bag. We go there?
No, we'll ride into town first, Kimosabe. I want to talk to Ken Albright's partner. Steady, big man.
Come on, Silver. Get him up, Scout.
All right, Victor.
Oh, Silver. Oh, Scout. Oh, fella.
Easy. We're lucky this freight office is at the end of the street.
There's a light inside. Shall turn on right
No, you wait here. I won't be long, Dan.
Mask. Yeah, stick up, huh?
Keep that gun in leather. No, I'm not an outlaw.
Well, then why are you... you got the drop on me. What do you want?
Well, I just want to talk to you. The only reason I pulled a gun was to keep you from doing something foolish.
The mask, I thought you...
Forget the mask. Now, your partner's in trouble. He needs help.
You Ken in trouble? How do you know?
You know a man named Wallace who has a cabin at the foot of Camelback Mountain?
Well, Ken left me at Summit Peak this afternoon to deliver some drills to the old man.
Well, when do you expect him back?
Oh, should have been back here a couple hours ago, easy.
I'm pretty sure he's in trouble. We'll find him.
Men come, Kimosabe.
Oh, what men, Tonto?
Say, what's this redskin doing?
Me think it's Sheriff. Them see Dan in moonlight.
There he is, Sheriff.
Listen.
Sit on the white coat. Put up your hands, kid, and keep them there.
Quick. Is there a back door to this place?
Sure, there's one.
Tonto, bring Dan and the horses around and back. I'll cover you.
What's this?
Let's get riding with him. See him? Halt, or I shoot.
And so will I.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments.
Now, to continue our story. Carefully lining his sights on the sheriff's blazing six-gun, the Lone Ranger fired quickly.
The engine and the kid are getting away, Sheriff. I'll get him. Oh!
Say, that's mighty fancy shooting, stranger.
It'll keep him quiet for a few minutes anyway. Now, come on. We'll meet Tonto and Dan at the back.
Hey, now, wait a minute. I can't.
Yes, you are. Come on. You ride double with me, Barnes. All right. Up you go.
I can't understand this. You tell me Ken is in trouble, now you're kidnapping me.
Steady, big fella. That's for a short ride out to my camp. Then we'll find your partner. Come on, Silver.
Get him up, Scout.
Come on, Victor.
Sally, where are we?
We're in the mine, Dad.
How did we get here?
Remember those two men who came to the cabin this morning? They hit you over the head with a gun.
Oh, yes, now I remember.
And when Ken came to deliver your steel drills, they hit him, too.
Ken?
That's right, Mr. Wallace. I was so dumb I walked right into the trap.
It wasn't your fault. I should have warned you better than I did.
You couldn't.
These men, do they know about this? The mine, I mean?
I'm afraid so, Dad. That's the reason for all this.
What do you mean, Sally?
Well, last week, Dad discovered a rich lode of gold ore here in this shaft. We intended to keep it a secret until he could file on the claim, but this morning, well, you know the rest.
Who are these men? Do you know?
I never saw them before. They call each other Hoot and Red. Hoot rode away just after he hit you, and Red made me drag you and Dad in here. He's waiting at the head of the shaft with a gun.
Is there any other way out of here, Mr. Wallace?
None. This is just a single shaft. I've spent the last 6 months digging it myself.
What's their object? What do they hope to gain by this?
Simple enough. Hoot rode into Pothook to tell the boss, whoever that is, and bring back a crew of men.
And they intend to...
Work the mine. And they'll be safe enough. No one ever comes into this valley.
I'm afraid you're right, Sally. Unless we can think of some way to get out of it.
Time. As soon as the boys get back, we'll dig 3 holes in that slag heap outside of here. You'll all have a long time to think.
Why, you...
Better sit still, my young bucko. The shooting iron trigger's mighty easy.
Don't, Ken, don't.
The girl's got sense. When your string's playing out, it's best to stay in one piece.
So that's the way the land lies, huh? Them coyotes have got Ken, the old man, and Sally penned up at the bottom of Camelback.
I imagine so. Who came back to report to the boss. Any idea who that might be?
No, must be some old hoot around Pothook I never heard of.
The thing to do is report it to the sheriff. Ask him to form a posse and ride out there.
Well, that was the sheriff you were shooting at when we left town.
Yes, I know.
And there was Hoot Lander with him.
The sheriff has never seen me, so that won't make any difference. We ride back to town and you talk to him.
Hey, but what'll you do?
Otto and Dan and I will wait for you in back of your freight office. Come on, Silver.
Get him up, Scout.
Get up, Victor.
Evening, Sheriff.
Evening, Mr. Rankin.
There's some lead flying on the main street about an hour ago. What was the trouble?
Oh, a stranger in town told me an owl hoot kid stuck him up down at the corral.
That's so?
We spotted the kid all right. He was sitting on a white colt outside the Albright Barnes freight office.
What happened?
Must have had some gunnies holed up in there, because when I tried to arrest him, they started slinging lead. Knocked my gun down.
Too bad, Sheriff. I'm sorry you didn't get him. But I'm glad you took a firm stand. That's the kind of law we need here in Pothook.
Thanks. Thanks, Mr. Rankin.
I just dropped in to ask you to keep an eye on my place while I'm away.
Why, sure. You leaving town, Mr. Rankin?
Oh, just for a few days. Some of the boys and I are riding up to the mine tonight.
Well, don't you worry, Mr. Rankin. I'll keep a sharp eye on your office.
Good. I've got a lot of money in the safe, and I just wanted to be sure you weren't planning on leaving town until I get back.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's good news. And when the next election comes along, I won't forget it.
Thanks. Thanks again.
Not at all. I just recognize real ability. Well, my boys are waiting, and we have a long ride ahead of us. See you later, Sheriff.
Yeah. Good night, Mr. Rankin. Don't you worry about nothing.
I won't. Now.
Hey, Sheriff!
Barnes, I've been looking for you. You're under arrest.
Me? What do you mean?
Guess you've got some slick reason for owl who's holding up in your freight office and slinging lead at the law.
Hey, Sheriff, I don't know...
Who was that redskin and who was that kid?
Hey, listen, Sheriff, there's a lot of underhanded stuff going on
the
around
engine
here.
came out of your office, didn't he?
Well, yes, but
And that's the same place some hombre was triggering a gun.
Look here, Sheriff, you gotta listen to me. I tell you... Hey, what's that? Who are they?
Bart Rankin and some of his men riding up to the mine. That ain't got nothing to
If
do
that's
with...
Bart Rankin and they're heading for his mine, what are they trailing east for?
What Rankin does and which way he heads is his own business. But you better give me some straight answers, Barnes.
They're heading for Camelback. That's where they're going.
I don't want to palaver with you. Hand over your gun, Shorty. You're under arrest.
Ken, my partner, he's out there with old man Wallace at the bottom of Camelback.
Your talk don't even make sense. Hand over that gun.
Yes, it does make sense, Sheriff.
A masked owl.
Oh, that's a good idea. I have you covered.
So I was right, Barnes. You are in cahoots with outlaws.
Take his gun, Shorty.
Well,
Go on, take it. It's for his own protection as well as ours. There's nothing quite so dangerous as a man who thinks he knows the truth with a gun in his hand.
Yeah, here.
Good. Now you keep it. The sheriff will want it back later on.
You're doggone right I will. If you think you can get away with
That
anything...
bunch of hombres just rode out of here with Bart Rankin. They're heading toward Camelback. Rankin's mine is in the opposite direction.
Yes, I know. I've reached the same conclusion you have, Shorty. I think we know who the boss is now.
How are we going to stop them? There must have been 30 men in that bunch.
We'll have to round up an equal number. Now, you have plenty of friends. Don't you think you can rustle that many men?
Well, I can try. But if Rankin and his crew have gone to Wallace's mine, it's in a valley with a dead end. The only trail down there is across Camelback. Well, they'd knock us off like flies.
I know. I've ridden that trail many times.
We'd never get down there alive.
Now, there's one way. You round up your men, Shorty. Tell them to meet you at the top of the valley at sunrise. Then hitch up an empty freight wagon. Drive it up there.
Freight wagon? Well, that won't do no good.
It might, but you'll have to hurry. It's a long way to Camelback, and there isn't much time before sunrise.
All right, I'll do... Hey, what about him?
The sheriff's going to ride with me. We'll meet you there.
I'm not going anyplace.
Yes, you are, Sheriff. We're both going in now.
Well, what do you say, Red? Who told me everything worked out all right?
Sure, boss. I got the old man, the girl, and young Albright bottled up in the mine.
Good. Now go over there and take him out. The boys will start to work on that shaft. All right, hit the dirt, you hombres, and bring your picks and shovels.
Here they come. You were right, Sally. They're going to work the mine. They're all carrying picks and shovels.
And guns. The first thing they'll take out of here is us.
If there was only some way to get out of
Please,
here.
help me up to the head of the shaft, Ken.
What do you mean, Mr. Wallace?
Blast him, Potty. There's a can of it up there. I'll use just enough to blow in the head.
But, Dad, that'll seal us in here
It's
and then...
better than Bart Rankin's bullets.
Bart Rankin?
Sure. Can't you see that's Rankin who's giving the orders out there? He's the boss they were talking about. Come on, let's help your father reach that blasting powder.
Oh, close a minute, boy. Easy. We made it by sunrise, Sheriff. You better get off and stretch your legs.
I'll arrest every one of you crazy hombres for this.
You'll have plenty of arresting to do, but later on. Shorty.
Yeah?
I see you got the wagon up here all right.
Yeah, I've told all the boys they're taking orders from you. We can't figure out what you want the wagon for.
I looked down below.
Yeah, it's Rankin, all right. And all of his gun hawks. You see, they're all heading toward Wallace's mine. I wonder where Ken, the old man, and his daughter are.
Oh, there's no way of telling, but we'll have to hurry. Tell one of your men to chop the tongue off that wagon.
Chop the
Hurry,
tongue?
man.
Sure, anything you say. Come on, you fellas.
I can't figure it out either. What's a wagon for?
You'll see, Dan, just as soon as they get that tongue off.
Hey, look. That crowd of men in the valley. They've almost reached the mine.
Yes,
Hey, golly. Somebody set off a blast.
And that's where Mr. Wallace and his daughter are.
How do you know?
That explosion came from just inside the shaft. They've sealed themselves in the mine.
Gee, won't that be
Very dangerous with all the gas, powder, smoke, and very little air. Shorty, is the wagon ready?
I got the tongue chopped off, but I don't see...
Good. Now hook some of those trace chains onto the front axle so I can steer it from inside.
Hey, sure. You mean you're going to ride this thing down Camelback Hill?
Not just me. We're all going. Tell the men to climb in and keep their rifles ready.
Well, I've heard of a lot of things, but loading a wagon with men and letting her ride down the side of a mountain beats them all.
Why not? Camelback is smooth. It's the only way we'll ever get down there in a hurry. And if we tried to ride down any other way, there's no cover. Rankin and his men could pick us off.
Hey, you heard what he said, man. Are you game? All right, then climb in that freight wagon chariot. We're going to ram it down Bart Rankin's throat.
No, Dan. I want you and Tonto to help us by giving the wagon a push. Then ride down and bring the sheriff with you.
All right, but I'd sure like to ride in a wagon with you.
You can help more this way, Dan. Come along, Tonto.
Here are the chains. I hope you can steer this thing with him.
I'll try. All right. Now listen, men. As you can plainly see, they've seen us, and they probably know what we're trying to do. Keep your heads down until we reach the floor of the valley. Understand?
Yes, right.
And, Tonto, we're ready.
Come down. We push. Now, plenty hard.
Golly, it's so heavy.
Push.
heading right for the middle of them.
No, don't shoot to kill. Just enough to stop them.
That's enough. Hold your fire.
Keep Rankin and these men covered. Come on, Shorty.
You just dug us out of there in time. A few more minutes and the gas fumes from that blast would have
But
killed
we
us.
are out. Oh, Ken, I'm so frightened.
Frightened now, Sally? After it's all over?
I can't help
I
it.
don't know how to thank you men for what you've done.
Well, no thanks are necessary. How about the sheriff, Dan?
Yeah, he's convinced now that he was wrong. He's arrested Bart Rankin and all the men with him.
Good. And I guess our job is done. Come on, Dan. Tonto.
Ken, my boy, and I filed a claim on this gold mine, and we're going to put it in Sally's name and yours.
Oh, Dad.
What do we call it? Anybody think of a good name?
The best one I can think of, Mr. Wallace, would be the Camel's Back Ride.
Good. That's what it'll be. The Camel's Back Ride.
But the man who made that ride, the one with the mask, who is he?
I guess that's something I neglected to tell you folks. I didn't know it myself a few minutes ago when the boy told me. That man was the Lone Ranger.
I'm Silver! Ahoy!
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.